And then after Maryville, I went to Teachers College, Columbia. And again, I was given a scholarship, not because I was so darn bright, but again, Dean Russell at the time was an old friend of my father's. So he said he'd give me the Dean Scholarship, a special scholarship he probably created. And that's how I went to Columbia. And then it was different because there were so many Filipinos in New York City that we only saw the Americans. We hardly associated with them because naturally there are so many people from home, boys from home. We went already with Filipinos, and in fact, that's how I met my husband on a blind date in the States. So that's the difference between the small town where we were for almost 2 years and the big city where we were later. That we knew we just moved around an American city, but we didn't really get to know the people. Not the way it was in Maryville when everybody knew your first name, greet you on the streets, and really you got to know the people. Life is an education, and you absorb everything you're exposed to. And you are, it's tried to say, you are the product of your experience all the time. And the fact that you were young in the States, you might have imbibed a little without even knowing it. But I don't know that, I don't know, even now, I don't think there's any real special residue of that stay of mine in the States. Except I know I'm at home with Americans, and like you, I mean, if I had not been exposed so much to Americans, there would be a little barrier between me and you. But as I say, when I meet Americans, they're just people to me. Americans per se. They're just people. That's what I think you absorb if you have stayed enough that you can differentiate between there are Americans and Americans. It never occurred to me to stay in the United States, you know. I enjoyed it while I was there. I still do even now, but it still never occurs to me to stay there permanently. I don't especially like the way of life. I mean, not the way of life in that sense. I don't like the hurried atmosphere, and besides, I'm too spoiled to wash dishes. No. And my brother, as I was telling you, who's an American citizen, when I became a widow, he told me once, you know, I could claim you because you're a widow. I said, over my dead body, you won't claim me. I won't never stay in the States.